Before we get questions, I got a chance to meet Coach Wilcox when we were in conference together, and I liked him then. Him giving me the chance to get back in college football, especially at Cal, as a Bay Area kid, I love that man, and I appreciate the opportunity that he gave me here. I loved how he treated people. I like him even more after being around him for a few months, and I think that is what most people say about him. And it was a great time to be around him. I enjoyed my time back with him. Thank Coach Rivera for trusting in me to lead this team. And if I get one day as the head coach at Cal, that's quite a blessing for me. So go ahead, let's fire some questions. Nobody? Well, that's great. Good.
Nick, right down here in front. Talk about how you see what you need to do in the next few days as this transition happens, and helping manage your players, their emotions, but at the same time preparing for a big game.
Yeah, I think it was more managing their emotions, and especially today's Tuesday. Sunday was tough. Monday, there was still some, I don't want to call it a hangover because it was out of love, but there was some emotional hangover for a lot of guys. That's a tough thing for a young man to go through. For a guy that they had true love for, to not be there for him is a shock. They give so much to this program and to their teammates, and I think that was the emphasis Monday. I think we still got a little bit of that to monitor. But today I thought we took a step in getting ready for SMU. But that will be something that we'll have to be aware of and not just say, okay, we're past it. I think if people deal with things different ways, and I think we got to be aware of that as coaches.
Do you expect it can motivate them in any way for Saturday?
I think that's exactly what it should do, for the love they have for Coach Wilcox. And look, if I know anything about that man, he would love to see this team go out and play well this Saturday. And that's the best opportunity they have, I think, to really celebrate him as their coach.
Coach, in similar situations in college football, we've seen this where a coach is leaving in the middle of the season and then someone within the program is upgraded and they're able to kind of galvanize the team and bring everyone together. What is your expectation, being that you already have relationships with these players, but then also how much are you taking on personally to make sure that you keep the connectivity or grow the connectivity as you go throughout the rest of this season?
Mine is a concern for their mental well-being getting through this. And the realization of the opportunity they have to play for each other. We got senior day. We got some guys' last game at Memorial Stadium coming up. And just, yes, the pain is real, the hurt is real, but look to your left and right and see the young men that you've been kind of grinding with since I got here. And I think there is a lot of love between each other. I think they're leaning on each other a little bit through this. Everyone deals with it differently, but to continually, it's not run a post route, it's not play cover two, it's how is this group, can we get them to a point where they feel great about going into the stadium Saturday and playing together. And just playing hard for each other. Whatever your motivation is, the best thing you can do, in my opinion, is play hard and play together. Obviously play smart, but play hard and play together. Play for each other is kind of my message going forward this week. And we're going day by day.
Nick, you've stepped into a tricky situation, obviously managing.
This business is tricky.
Yeah.
And you got to expect, you got to be on your toes and understand the decisions that got to be made. But I'm sorry to interrupt your question.
So it's not only just managing the team's emotions and performances and everything, but you've had some decommits from guys that say, I got to keep my options open. I don't know what the staff is going to be like, so you've got to try and reel them back in. You've got guys that could go into the portal. You've got to get guys in through the portal, all happening at once. Now, I wanted to ask you specifically, you knew Jaron before you came here. You have a pre-existing relationship to some extent. I expect you're probably going to play a key role in retaining him. And what are your thoughts on where you guys stand with him?
I think he's very happy here. I think he's a wonderful young man. I think he wants to win. I think he'd like to make everybody at this university, including the fans, proud of the football team. But he's still a 18 or 19-year-old young man that needs somebody there for him to he's got an elite arm. He's a competitor. I think everyone in here kind of understands that, but he's still a young human. And being there for him if he wants to talk about it, if he wants to, cry, laugh, whatever, that's what I would like to do. Now, the portal, getting people in from the portal is not going to be in our mind, right? We got a long time till that happens. There's a lot of steps before that happens. So, but the commits, I don't know if you want me to go off on this stuff, but there's a new coach, you know what I mean? And I think I've talked to a few. I know our recruiting staff and Coach Rivera have talked to a few, and that conversation is we're going to get the best head coach for this program, and hopefully they have a chance to see that and get a chance to reevaluate their decision if they do decommit.
Nick, you mentioned you're a Bay Area guy, that Cal means something to you. When you were growing up, I'm guessing from your age, were you here when Mike Pawlowski, Russell White, Sean Dawkins, that group, did you go to Cal games at Memorial Stadium?
I've been to a few Cal games. Mike Pawlowski really became my idol in the Arena League. I was an Arena League cat myself, so he's a legend in that. But I think Mike and all the other alums have a real special. They had a special experience here, and it means something. It's, I have a special feeling about Hawaii because I went there, and but being a Bay Area kid, not only coming to a couple games here as a youth, but one of my good friends' dad was an alum, and all he'd say is "Go Bears!" Shout out to Rich Price. There's just it's a Bay Area's team, and that was just something that was consistent throughout my childhood. And you saw the Cal logo, you heard about Memorial Stadium, all those things. I don't know if that answered your question well enough or not, but I'm sorry.
Hi, Coach.
Yes.
If you could just take us back to Saturday, how did you experience that game in the immediate aftermath?
It was my first big game, and being involved with it. That's what you're talking about, right? Yeah.
In the aftermath, yeah.
Yeah, the aftermath. I don't know that I'd been in a game with that many people storming the field. I don't know that I'd been in a game, or I'd been in very few that had the same emotions throughout the game, in the crowd, pre-game. I mean, you see why it's properly named. That's the big game, and it was from both sides. There's a real desire to keep that axe, and I think really until you get to experience it, I'd like it to have gone a different way and experienced it that way, but it really drives home how much it means to alums in both universities. And I think that's a really, really special thing for the Bay Area. And the crowd was great. Cal showed great. Obviously the result was nothing that we thought we would ever have wanted, but it shows the power of that game. It shows the power of college football and how it can really bring communities together.
Nick, obviously a different set of circumstances from your time at the top at Hawaii and Washington State. What are you hoping to prove to yourself throughout this stint as interim head coach? That I haven't lost. The real reason why I do this is the care for the kids and assisting them in having a wonderful experience on the field, but also the human interaction element of it.
Coach, it's my turn, right?
I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. I want to make sure. It's, I'm sure, been a whirlwind of a couple of days for you, Justin.
I've had bigger whirlwinds.
Well, and then you're trying to keep these guys together and just kind of keep everything at bay. For you personally, what has this been like? And then what does the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks look like? How do you look at it?
I don't know what the next 3 weeks look like for sure. I don't know what the next two. I know what today looks like, and today I get to be the head coach at Cal, And as long as we put the players first, you know, it hurts from the staff too. You know, they had a lot of love for Justin. They feel disappointed almost, you know, we didn't get it done for them. There's some of those feelings, and they have families too. You know, they have futures too. And all those things are, I think, perfectly okay to not only be concerned about, but understand that people are going through those things. And the main, I think, is to, okay, let's let it out. Now let's refocus. It's better for everybody in this building if we go out and play well and win versus SMU. That's just the flat out truth. And that was hopefully the message I was able to get across to everyone.
Ron spoke very highly of you and said he hopes whatever happens that you will still be with the Cal football program next season. Could you envision a scenario where you're not the head coach, but you're still wearing the Cal logo?
I'm doing it now, you know, until Saturday, right? And it was a great experience for me. But I'm sorry, do you want to say something else?
No, I'm just going to say, but I mean, now you are the head coach.
Yeah.
Could you see yourself staying here and not be?
Yeah, I think I kind of get. Your question is, now I'm the head coach. Can I stay at Cal, not being the head coach? Is kind of your deal. Yeah, I think I've got enough gray hairs to realize that those emotions and those feelings, and try to be humble enough that I'm grateful for the job at Cal. You know what I mean? And I get it. This is a coveted seat. You know, what helps me is having been in a couple of them and understanding the business side a little bit, and staying grounded. You know, my time out gave me an incredible perspective on moving forward in this business. And as long as everything's made in the best interest of this program and these kids, I'm fine with it.
Okay, we'll go to Joaquin.
Let's go,
Ruiz.
Joaquin. What do you got, brother?
Go ahead, Joaquin.
What's up, Coach? I just wanted to ask, you know, going into this game, you still got to get the guys regrouped. I know this is like day one, really, or day two for you kind of in this role, but have you had a chance to really talk to them about just focusing on playing, and how do you get through this end of the season?
Yeah, they got to focus on playing. I think we have touched on that, but I think you can. That's a nice phrase. It's the truth, but there also is. Before you get to that, I think you need to get to the human element and how everyone's dealing with this. Now, we don't have 2 weeks to cry about it. I get that, and there were some tears, but there needs to be a release of those emotions before we reset, and I think we've had that day, and I saw some progress towards your statement of regrouping today at practice. Anything else, Joaquin?
Anybody else?
That's it. Thank you.
Oh, sweet. Well, thank you, guys.